Igarashi, the monk and comedic relief of Blue Lock, will now be the main character of the story. Isagi decided he wanted a true striker to shine in the spotlight, so the next video will be covering Igarashi's rise to the World Cup and the #1 striker spot. What's going on, everyone? My name is Animasu, and today we'll be taking a look at Blue Lock's 277th chapter, titled In the Shade. If you enjoy staying up to date with Blue Lock or would just like to support my channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button and commenting below your thoughts, as it truly does wonders to help the video. Also consider checking out my community Discord if you'd like to interact with me or other egoists interested in Blue Lock. I hope you all have an amazing day, and now let me show you why Igarashi is the best striker in Blue Lock. To start off today's chapter, we finally have intro blurbs back in the scans, which says, "Through the monitors, the fate of these egoists is etched." Fittingly, the first visual we get is that of Ego Jinpachi sitting in the Blue Lock command room. Posted up in his chair with some instant ramen, Ego seems almost entertained for once, assuring us that Itoshi Rin has ignited the fire that will burn this match's wick out. Just behind him typing away at the computer, Henri says how amazed she is that Julian Loki is now playing, even more so on his own accord. This has boosted Blue Lock TV subscriptions already, and within 5 minutes, is the #1 trending in the world. Sipping the broth from his ramen, Ego just says it's how the crowd is and how popularity functions. The masses just want to witness a hero being birthed. Meanwhile, geniuses on the field continue to attract one another. It's so funny that Ego continues to break down every situation as if it were a chemical reaction, but it's very fitting, so I love it. Then setting down his cup of ramen to let us know shit is getting serious, Ego assures us that this will be an incredible final in the world's hottest place. Right here on Blue Lock TV, Bayern Munich vs PXG is tied at 2-2, with only 1 goal left for the taking. One funny thing too is his cup of ramen says Ness in rather than Ness in, so it could be hinting at Ness having future relevance in the story, or it could just be a pure coincidence. Anyways, then drooping his tongue either manually or to imitate Itoshi Rin, Ego tells us to not understand or get too ambitious, and do not try to become a genius. This panel and line definitely stand out to me, considering Isagi has been frequently referring to himself as the genius of adaptability. While people like Itoshi Rin, Julian, Loki, and Shidou can be considered natural talents, Isagi has been shown to be the hard-working kind of genius, an exceptional kind of one. While this seems to imply that Isagi is drunk off his own ego and belief about being a genius, I also have another interpretation. Become a genius specifically implies a person developing into one. However, for Isagi yoichi, these things also come natural. The Blue Lock light novels detail Isagi's childhood in high praise as a player, so maybe instead of becoming a new genius, Isagi simply needs to reawaken the dormant one. Also, why I'm writing this script, somebody tried to tell me that the Blue Lock light novels are not canon, but let me tell you guys, they're literally written by the author and never said to not be canon, so I don't know where that came from. The next page even further confirms this in my mind, because Isagi is shown immediately after in a hard-ass panel. With flames coming from his jersey and spiral eyes returning, Isagi's original ego seems to be bubbling back to the surface. Anyways, enough yapping, because with Julian Loki shown crossing his arms, PXG's new ultra-offensive formation is shown alongside some narration. Apparently Loki just subbed in for an NPC on the team, and will now be playing left wing next to Shidou Ryusei. Meanwhile, on the Bayern Munich side of things, we see Kunigami and Corona chilling out on the bench as they've both been subbed out of the game. Their master Noah and Igarashi are then seen walking on the field in their place, as the monk slaps his face to get hyped up. Noah is subbing in as the right wing next to Isagi, and Igarashi is the right back with Ryusei and Kiyora. The announcers then once again yap, specifically in regards to the contact during the previous goal. Isagi's attempt to stop Itoshi Rin has been ruled as a late tackle on the body rather than on the ball, and in turn, has been granted a yellow card. Oh my gosh. My goat, however, seems calm and composed, only uttering a single curse while breathing deep. Thinking back on the words Rin said after scoring, Isagi demands his memory to quiet down and listen. Looking at Rin's back as he walks towards Charles and Loki, Isagi says that he will not be used as a stepping stone for someone else's evolution. My life is not for your sake. With Isagi taking on a determined expression while thinking of Rin, our main egoist refuses to be used by his rival. With the audience cheering behind and even Isagi's first ever fan being shown, the next goal will decide this match's winner. The match then officially restarts with Bayern Munich in possession, as Noah kicks off the ball to Isagi yoichi. With aura radiating from both his eyes and body, Isagi is confident that he will win with his goal. The announcers also scream out in excitement once more, as this struggle between the new Egoist League's undefeated giants is soon coming to its close. As Isagi traps Noah's pass and continues forward, Shidou Ryusei is the first PXG player we see stepping up to defend. Unfortunately, Isagi only has 3 minutes with Noah to make it count, so after baiting Shidou's attention to his right, Isagi passes to his master, leaving him clear from the demon. In these 3 minutes with Noah, I'll prove that I'm a genius too. The next page then shows Noah trapping the pass, as Isagi continues sprinting beyond Shidou Ryusei. With Noah then completing the 1-2 by passing back to Isagi, our egoist traps the ball, still drunk on his own ego. I'll definitely dominate this world-class environment, and show the world that I am Isagi yoichi, the genius of adaptability. Unfortunately, with a gust of wind and a loud screech, the ball suddenly disappears from his possession, leaving him completely shocked. Turning his head to see the perpetrator, it's none other than Julian Loki, a member of the World 5 and absolute speed demon. Continuing on while taunting Isagi, he calls his trap there naive, all while glistening with an aura to indicate his insane speed and particles. He continues on to say that all nature dictates the slow ones die first, basically saying that he is the apex predator of the field. It also kind of calls back to Itoshi Rin as a child watching Animal Planet, because he specifically was watching a cheetah run down a gazelle, and now Loki ran down poor Isagi, dear god. Moving on from our main egoist, Loki then redirects his attention towards Ryusei and Kiyora, causing looks of terror on both players. He once again begins to disintegrate into particles as he dashes forward, taunting Bayern Munich players to just try and stop him. Godspeed distortion. With only one double spread needed, Julian Loki dashes past and even beyond Ryusei and Kiyora, leaving them grasping at the air in confusion. In one single stride, he's left two defenders in the dust, and at this point, bro must be off the roids or have superpowers. He's so fast, Ryusei couldn't even turn in time, and even more so, the page is being warped and distorted as if his speed can change reality. With Kiyora Jin then even being cooked, Isagi just stares along in shock, unable to comprehend what this creature is. No matter what logic he uses or how critically he thinks, Isagi is nothing to the pure physical speed of Julian Loki. His talent completely bypasses the need to look ahead or think too hard, his bro just makes gaps and takes them. Two Bayern Munich NPCs are then shown shitting their pants, fully convinced that 2 to 3 defenders are needed to even partially contain Loki. Speaking of, Loki does arrive at their front, however instead of embarrassing them, he actually opts to pass off to his left. The target of this bash was actually Itoshi Rin, who traps the ball while Loki taunts him. Julian wants Itoshi Rin to have the final goal as a thank you for Charles' awakening I guess, but also calls him the Licky Tongue monster, which I'm shortening to the Pokemon Licky Tongue. This is how Itoshi Rin, and nobody can argue with me. Anyways, with Rin trapping the ball and drooping his tongue, Rin calls his monster condescending while preparing to shoot. Isagi on the other hand looks helpless and sad, because with the match just restarting at 2-2 and only one play going by, it's already going to be closed out by PXG. In comes Igarashi Rimu though, reaching his right arm around Rin to try and contest his shot. His aura is even shown to be mala meditation beads, which are used by Buddhists to recall their mantras, prayers, and so forth. They're very important. His aura is probably the most fitting in all of Blue Lock, and another fun fact, his previous jersey number 108 is a sacred number within Buddhism. Buddhists ring a bell 108 times to symbolize the start of a new year. It's the number of volumes in the Kankir, and it's just so prominent within their religion. Sadly for Igarashi, no amount of prayer can make him better or physically equal to Rin, so when the two crash, Igarashi doesn't really amount to much. Rin just straight up tells him to get away, to then knock off his center of balance, causing him to fall very hard into the pitch. It looks super painful as he lands shoulder and face first into a very rough crash. With a look of surprise on Itoshi Rin's face however, he announced to players out there, Rin's physical challenge on Igarashi has been ruled as a foul. To no surprise of anyone, Igarashi may not be better or equal to these egoists, but he's now using his own weapon to make his mark. New secret technique, genius killing Malachi. This chapter ends off with the monk's eyes radiating with aura, being the only second or third time we've seen him fired up I think. Chapter 278's upcoming title is very interesting, being just a square, triangle, and circle. This actually confirms that the next chapter will also be an Igarashi chapter, as these symbols do not refer to Squid Game and actually the old monk Singai's work regarding the universe and his beliefs. I can't exactly pinpoint what belief or idea he's referencing because there's just so much he's written, but simply knowing it relates to Igarashi and monks gives us a lot of room to work with. Maybe we'll get a flashback to he, Isagi, and Noah talking about how he can use his weapon, or maybe one even further back to his temple days. Whatever the case, I am super ready for the leaks this Saturday alongside the very first episode of Blue Lock Season 2. Dear God, I cannot believe it's already here. Just prepare yourself for some banger videos and let me know what you want to talk about, because I can do reaction videos, I can do side-by-side comparison shit, I can do everything if y'all want. With that sadly ending out today's chapter and video, I just want to thank you all so much for sticking this far through. If you want to stay up to date with Blue Lock or just enjoy my content, please feel free to click that subscribe button, comment below your thoughts, as it does wonders to help the algorithm. Also consider joining my community Discord in the description if you'd like to interact with me and other egoists interested in Blue Lock. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day or night, and I'll see you next time.